Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. Today's April 28th, 2020, and today I'll be speaking with Neena Vlamis, owner of A&N Mortgage. Neena works with buyers of primary residence as well as investment properties, and she ranks in the top 200 per Scotsman's Guide magazine and is a consecutive five-star award winner for about a decade now. Neena works with many of my buyers, and in all honesty, whenever I have a tricky situation on a listing, or maybe even working with a buyer or a seller and their buyer can't get a loan, Neena's consistently been able to think outside the box to solve the issue that the other lenders just stumbled on. Her creativity and solid communication skills have earned her an A+ credit rating with the Better Business Bureau since the day she opened her doors. I've had the good fortune of working closely with Neena and her team on all my own purchases, as well as those of my clients for almost 2 decades. She and her team have been lifesavers more times than I wish to recall. So with that, I'll introduce my guest today, Neena Vlamis. Thank you so much for joining us today, Neena.
Yep. Hi, thanks for having me.
So I'm talking to a lot of buyers and sellers these days and have some questions I'd love to present you with. The first one is that we've all heard in the news that jumbo loans are gone with the wind. What's the story? Are jumbo loans truly gone, or are there any still out there?
No, there are still many products that we were able to finance jumbo loans. Some of your larger banks have pulled back, and that was due to liquidity and capacity. However, if you call us, we're able to assist with jumbo financing as low as 5% down still. So make sure that you do your research on your lender and know what product you're going to go into. But again, I think that everybody's pulled back a little bit because the world's closed. However, doesn't mean that all the products are gone.
I see. So then with that in mind, what are interest rates today, and what happens if maybe somebody started the process a while ago and maybe the rates have come down?
So your rate is locked based on your credit score, your loan amount, your product, your program, and your type of property that you're purchasing or refinancing. So if you lock in with us, we are able to give a one-time free float down within 30 days of the closing. So we don't want you to feel insecure about locking and then having to shop after the fact. So the one-time free float down is an excellent option so that you know you've made the right decision on who your lender is.
Oh, that's great. So there's some flexibility. That's good to hear. Would you say that now is a good time to refinance then?
Absolutely. Refinancing is a great idea. We want to check your individual goals and see what products that we can customize for you. So it depends on what you're in right now, but I recommend checking in with your loan officer and seeing what you can do. I think the rates are very low, and it's a great time to figure out if you can refinance.
Great. So, okay, we've been sheltered in place now for 6 weeks. Talk to us a little bit about the process. How are you pivoting to handle the shelter in place? Like, for instance, are appraisals actually still happening? And what about the technical closing process, paperwork signing and being able to record deeds? How are those things happening now that we're sheltered in place?
So as far as the process goes, we're digital, and we've been digital for many years. So we have a very secure website for you to upload your documents to, a portal, a system that allows you to feel safe and secure with your personal documents. And then the appraisal occurs depending on which product. We're getting a lot of appraisal waivers, some drive-bys, but let's say you're buying a second home, and people are still buying second homes right now because there's deals to be had. The market is moving. We are writing pre-approvals and pre-approvals and pre-approvals, and it's been a wonderful purchase market, although it feels like it hasn't. So depending on the appraisal, depending on the product, then we pick which appraisal is going to be the best for you and for what, because some people still want to have an appraisal done, so they have an option too.
So when you say appraisal waiver, what's a waiver of appraisal? Does that mean like there just isn't one?
Yeah, so sometimes on a refinance or some of the purchases that we've been doing, there is an option that you can exercise where there isn't an appraisal. However, most of the buyers right now, they're asking to have a full appraisal done and completed so that they know what the value of their property is, which is important because we want everybody to feel very confident in what they're doing and the transactions that are occurring. So we do discuss that with you individually and figure out what's the best route to go. As far as the closings go, we have some fun options for closings. For example, we have a hybrid closing where you sign the majority of your documents on DocuSign or DocMagic. And then we do have you, if it's a refinance, it's almost like Uber Eats. We have the closer, the notary, come up to the driveway, sign some papers, notarize them, and then be headed off on their way. There is also a true e-closing, which is called a remote online notary. And we can get into that a little bit more detail. But again, it's specific to the program and everything. We detail everything to the borrower specifically instead of just having some general rules. We find that to be much better to meet the customer's goals.
Awesome. And then what about the deeds? Are we recording deeds still?
So the recorder's office is about 30 days to sometimes 60 days behind in collar counties. In Cook County, they've been recording the deeds within about 30 days. So there's some e-recordings going on and other things like that.
Cool. So if somebody's considering maybe selling their home because of the rate drop, does it make sense to refinance now? How should folks plan to manage their timeline if they want to buy and sell? At what point does it make sense to refinance now if they're going to be selling in the near future?
So I would say that a minimum amount of time for you to decide if you want to refinance and you're selling would be at least 1 year, because we usually give you a couple different options to refinance, such as a no closing cost option, closing costs, paying points. People pay points if they're staying in their property for a long period of time, and it makes sense, right, to pay points, especially when the rates are really low. So I would say if you're selling within in about a year, I wouldn't recommend refinancing, but you have to make sure that you speak to your loan officer, have a relationship with them, and know what is the best option for you, because everything's tailored to you and what your goals are.
I love that. So, okay, something that we're hearing a lot about in the news, I wonder if you can help clarify for us. We're hearing a lot about forbearance. Can you tell us, first of all, what does it mean? And what should someone who might be thinking it could help them, what should they do?
So the main thing that you want to pay in life is your shelter. It's your home. Always pay your mortgage or your rent first. That's very, very important. It's where you live. It's where you sleep. It's where you eat. It's where your family is. So paying your rent or your mortgage first, obviously we're talking about forbearance, so you're going to have a mortgage if we're discussing that. You want to pay your shelter. If there's some things that you can't afford to pay, talk to whoever it is. For example, if you can't pay your credit cards, you need to call the credit agencies and see, is there some sort of payment plan? Again, I cannot stress enough, you want to make sure that you pay your mortgage on time. Forbearance is much different than loan forgiveness. The media is going to push things out that don't always make sense, and they're not tailored to your specific needs. So if you decide that you want to discuss forbearance, you want to call your servicer of whoever's servicing that loan, but you need to read the fine print, and you need to make sure you understand the ramifications of going into forbearance. Forbearance, what they're discussing is oftentimes where you're skipping 3 monthly mortgage payments, but it's not forgiveness. Loan forgiveness means that the loan's forgiven and you don't have to repay it back. Forbearance is completely different, and it's done differently by each end investor and lender. So make sure you call and read the fine print before you sign anything. If you can afford to, have an attorney review it so you understand, does it affect your credit score? Maybe they're telling you on the phone it doesn't affect your credit score, but what if it does affect your credit score? And then 30 days down the road, you get a tick of a mortgage late. Your credit cards are going to go up, your car insurance is going to go up. Everything is based on credit score. So it's extremely imperative that you slow down the process of just jumping into something. Don't be very reactionary. Process it, understand it, and figure out how to move forward with that.
I see. So that makes sense. Just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, if you had your little 8-ball out and you could tell the future,
Mm-hmm.
what would be your educated guess in terms of how long do you think the feds would continue to back our economic recovery? And do you think that there'll be any lasting impacts on the mortgage market that maybe will come up over the next few months or the next few years even? What are your expectations?
I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball, right? I wouldn't be sitting at my house in Indiana in the backyard. I'd be in some palace somewhere. But I know that the Fed is backing us. The Fed is backing us, which is a very important and strong thing to hear. Remember that the Fed is pumping money into the economy right now, so that everybody doesn't close their doors. This is going to end. This isn't forever, right? We're not going to stay inside forever. A lot of the smart people and the fiscally responsible people are purchasing properties right now. They're buying stocks on the low, and they're investing in homes because the interest rates are very low. So what is going to happen in the future? Life is going to move on. Everybody's going to be okay, hopefully, right? As long as you take all these precautions and stay safe and stay protected. So you can't control everything, right? So just try to control fiscally, make sure that you're with your family, maybe create budgets right now. See, where's your money? Where can you save a little bit of money? Where can you not? It depends on what families are doing. But I think in the future, I really believe everything's going to be fine.
Awesome. So in closing today, Neena, what would you share with the folks who are tuned in today?
I would say that it's a good time to buy. I think it's a great time to refinance, but it's, again, based on your own needs and everything else. Lisa Peck, thank you for interviewing me. Call Lisa Peck and have her assist you with finding properties. Get on the list. She'll send you a nice list to see what can you afford and where do you want to go from here.
Absolutely. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you, how would they reach out to you if they want to talk about maybe their specific mortgage or credit situation? How would they reach you?
So you can reach us at 773-305-LOAN, LOAN, or you can check out our website. I do a ton of blogging and there's a lot of mortgage tips on there. It's A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary, T as in Tom, G as in George.com. So ANMTG.com. And thank you so much, Lisa, for having me.
You're so welcome. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I really hope this helps you guys to understand what's going on in the mortgage landscape in Chicago during our shelter in place. You know what to do. If you like this video, please share it, give it a thumbs up, or comment down below. Thank you so much.